Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out two different Univibe style pedals to find out not necessarily which is better, but which would be best for you if you're in the market for one of these pedals. So here on the table in front of me I have two of the more popular and somewhat affordable pedals, and those are from MXR the Univibe and from EHX the Goodvibes. So like I said, these are both Univibe style pedals, with the MXR being, or at least trying to be, true to the original Univibe pedals, although saying that it uses a more standard circuit and doesn't include the old bulb and photocells type of circuit that the original Univibes had. And then you've got the Goodvibes, which does use the photocell type circuit, however is doing a little bit more of its own thing, although still being very much a Univibe style pedal. So let's check them out. So as you can see on the pedal cam, we'll start off with all of the controls that make a difference, at least at 12 o'clock, and then the levels are set so that they're roughly the same volume. Today I'm playing my Fender Telecaster, and that's going through both of these pedals into a Marshall SV20H, which is a plexi style amp and sounds something like this. So set up nice and clean is a good base for these pedals. So like I said, we'll start off with both on at 12 o'clock, and on the Goodvibes that sounds something like this. And then the Univibe sounds like this. So as you can hear, the Univibe at 12 o'clock has a bit of a higher rate. So now let's find out just how extreme those rates are. So I'm going to turn the speed on both pedals all the way up to their maximum setting, and playing again. The Goodvibes sounds like this. And the Univibe sounds like this. So to me those are fairly similar, and now if we turn them all the way down, and we'll hear what the slowest rate of both of these pedals sounds like. So again with the Goodvibes. And then with the Univibe. So that's the speed control on both of these pedals. I'm now going to try and set them to roughly the same speed, and then we'll talk about the depth control. So you've heard them both with the depth or the intensity at 12 o'clock. I'm now going to turn it up all the way so you can hear what that sounds like. So on the Goodvibes it sounds something like this. So with the Goodvibes you get that quite aggressive stuttering, and I think that's due to the photocell part of the circuit, which as you'll hear with the Univibe you don't get. Which to my ear at least, having played a little bit with both of these pedals, is always the more subtle of the two. So that might be something you want to keep in mind. Now I'm going to turn the depth down to about 9 o'clock so that it's on a low setting, but so that we've still got a bit in there, because if you turn it all the way off then you get nothing and that's a bit pointless. So with both intensities at 9 o'clock. So with both intensities at about 9 o'clock and starting off with the Goodvibes, it sounds something like this. And then with the Univibe. So So on that low setting, you're really losing most of the effect. Now I'm going to set these both up for a setting that typically I would use for each of these pedals, just so I can give you a like-for-like comparison, more specifically based on the tone rather than the position of the controls. So starting off on the Goodvibes, that sounds something like this. And then moving over to the Univibe. So as you can hear, they are both very much Univibe style, but they do have their own sort of voicing. Now there's one more thing I want to check out on both of these pedals, and that is the tremolo setting. So on the MXR, you turn that on by pressing in this little dip switch to turn on the red LED, and on the Goodvibes it's as simple as flicking down this dip switch. So with the rate and intensity turned up a bit but still matched, and over on the tremolo setting, the Goodvibes sounds like this. Which is quite asymmetrical and very sort of aggressive and stop-starty. And over on the Univibe sounds like this. So there you go, there's a bit of a comparison between these two pedals. The only other thing that may be worth mentioning is that the Goodvibes can have its speed and intensity controls controlled externally by an expression pedal, which is something that the MXR doesn't have. But other than that, they're very similar in the way that you control them. But as I'm hoping has come across in this video, the tones that you get out of them are a bit different. For me personally, I think I actually prefer the tremolo in the Univibe, but the vibe sound of the Goodvibes. But in general, I'm not a big fan of the Univibe style tremolo anyway, and I'd much rather use the one built into an amp if I'm using an amp that has one. But let me know which one you preferred down in the comments below and which tones you thought were best. And also let me know if you have a Univibe, and if so, which one you have. But that's it for today, so as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.